In high school, all I wanted to do was join the military. It's all I thought about all the time.
So that's exactly what Dave did. In April 2001, he pursued his dreams and enlisted in the Army. But his time in the Army wasn't exactly a walk in the park, as he shares how taxing it could be to one's mental health.
We had to be combat ready, lethality, right? So we didn't really have time to think about our mental health. It was like, hey, we have to go deploy overseas to combat, just focus on that. So if you had issues, you kind of had to compartmentalize them, put them away until after, grieve later, or deal with it later.
And for so long, that's exactly how Dave lived, until one of his buddies was late to formation and that one tardy changed everything.
One of my soldiers didn't show up to formation one morning, and I ended up going to his house, and he had tried to take his own life. I found him on his floor in his living room, and he was bleeding and stuff. At that time, I remember having no empathy. I was like, bro, what are you doing? I was mad at him.
Today, Dave has his own organization called 22 Mohawks, dedicated to providing assistance to veterans and first responders who need help with navigating the struggles of everyday life. Although Dave feels so strongly about veteran suicide prevention today, this was not what he had pictured himself doing when coming out of the Army.
While I was working in finance, I happened to be scrolling on social media, and I saw an honor and remember post to my friend John Hatfield. And John Hatfield had died by suicide 3 years prior to that. And John and I were close. We spent the last 2 years of our service together, working right next to each other. And I didn't even say bye to the kid when I got discharged. After he got out, he died by suicide. And I didn't even know until 3 years later. So that kind of triggered the inception of 22 Mohawks, where I felt like I was in a position where I needed to do something to bring awareness and prevention to veteran suicide, because that moment, I felt like a failure, like I had let John down and wasn't there for him. And it completely shifted my motivations in life. I didn't really care about making tons of money anymore. I just wanted to prevent my friends, veterans, from dying by suicide. And so that's really how it took off. That's how it started, the loss of my friend John. So the name, 22 was the off-sided number of suicide deaths in the veteran community. So, most people in the veteran community, know that the number 22 represents suicide. The Mohawk, when I was trying to come up with the name for the organization, the Mohawk represents an action item, kind of like the Ice Bucket Challenge, right? Hey, get a Mohawk for suicide prevention. But Mohawks are a funny haircut, right? So there's kind of a stigma behind it. If you get a Mohawk, you're a risk taker. And that's kind of synonymous with being a vet too. All military folks are, not risk averse, right? So that's kind of how the name came to be. The first thing I did was I shaved a Mohawk into my head. And I posted it on social media, and I said, if anyone wants to support veteran suicide awareness or prevention, get a Mohawk, post it on social media, and I will donate money to a larger organization to help bring awareness to this.
Although shaving your hair seems like such a small task, it quickly brought people together, including Stacy Coyne.
Dave and I went to junior high and high school together in Norwood Junior High and Norwood Senior High, and we stayed in contact. Dave went into the Army. He served 16 years in the Army, and we had stayed in contact throughout that, just on Facebook and things like that. In 2009, my father, who's a Coast Guard veteran, died by suicide. And when I saw Dave got out of the Army, and he posted on social media that he was starting 22 Mohawks, and if anybody got a Mohawk and posted on social media, he would donate some money to a larger organization that did suicide prevention for veterans. And because of my dad, I got a Mohawk. I had short hair, and I posted it, sent it over to him, and he and I kind of reconnected from that. And basically, I joined in on just getting 22 Mohawks up and running and doing all the events and things like that.
Getting folks to shave their hair in the Mohawks was amazing, but Dave knew he had to make this bigger than just a haircut, so he decided to do something that came naturally to him, challenge himself to take risks.
Like I said, veterans like to take risks, and something easy to do would be to just go parachute out of an airplane, right? So I created our annual, it's every first weekend of September on Labor Day weekend, we do a tandem parachute. Well, the first one we did was in Pepperell. It was during COVID, and the restaurant down the street opened up for us, kind of like a special thing. And I'm friends with all those folks now. I didn't know any of them. Like, none of those people that came, I didn't know any of them. And now we're still friends. Some of them have since got dogs from us and gone to our larger parachuting event in Florida. But that was our first event, and it will be our legacy event. We'll do it forever.
So our core services are our Pups for Vets and First Responders. We provide companion dogs to veterans and first responders at no cost and provide basic obedience up to CGC training, and we service all 50 states. So that's number one. Number two is our Airborne Operations Course and Retreat. So twice a year we take 15 to 20 veterans and first responders to Denellen, Florida, X-35 Airborne School, and they get to do a week-long abbreviated static line Army Airborne School, and then they get to do 5 static line jumps out of a C-47, which is amazing.
That event is just like such an impactful event. It's not just parachuting, because we throw in suicide prevention courses, yoga, acupuncture. We do data gathering, so it's more than just a jump, is what it's coined.
So I always say, like, we're a really small team, but we do extraordinary work, and we literally save lives. Giving people connection and purpose in another mission is something that's invaluable, and there's no amount of money or title or anything that can compare to when somebody tells you, like, thank you, you've saved my life. There's so many stories, and I could cry thinking about it, but there's so many stories and people that have become part of our family. So we started the 22 Mohawks family, and that's really just a big family, right? So everybody, it's not just a dog, it's not just a jump, it's not just an event. When people come to us, we really bring them in to be part of our family.
Every single time we pair a dog, I've thought, like, hey, it might get boring, right, pairing a dog, but it doesn't. Every time we hand over a leash to someone and they take a dog, it's just the most impactful moment, right? Because the veteran knows that there's somebody there for them. We read an oath to them, so they're connected with us forever. And just that connection is so, so impactful. The seat that I sit in is every single day I see the most terrible news, people dying by suicide. And it's truly preventable. And, you know, a reach out and a hello can definitely go a long way to friends. If somebody crosses your mind, ping them. Just say, hey, what's going on? Because you never know what that person's going through. But it's more than that too, right? Like, we gotta hold ourselves accountable, and we gotta hold our friends accountable.
The incredible work of 22 Mohawks highlights the importance of finding that bridge between taking care of oneself, but also taking care of others.
Reach out if you need help. It's okay. And if you are okay, then reach out to other people, see if they need help.
For an NHS update, I'm Danielle DeMaria reporting.